you're very welcome back to Talkabout with Mary Gallagher. Just a reminder, coming up tomorrow here on Talkabout, we'll have citizens information. So just a reminder, if you have any particular questions, I know we will be dealing with Susie grants, but if there's anything else, you can get in contact with us. If you want to send in a message, you can call 066 7123 666, or you can text or WhatsApp 083 300 3300. Now, my next guest who joins me in studio, Susan Quirke-Crowley, is just back from Italy. Susan, good afternoon. You're very welcome to the programme.
Thank you so much, Mary. I'm delighted to be here.
So, Susan, you were one of only 24 delegates chosen to represent Ireland at an event in Italy. I'm not going to dare to pronounce it. You might tell us about it.
Well, I was very fortunate. I work with Mounthawk Montessori School and Maureen's Childcare in Oak Park Montessori School in Tralee, and I was chosen by Early Childhood Ireland to represent Kerry among 24 delegates from Ireland. And this was funded through the National Pyjama Day that 49 Kerry services were involved in, and there was €350,000 raised, and most of it went to As I Am, and then there was a certain pot of funding that went to the Reggio Emilia trip to Italy, which was amazing.
So Reggio Emilia, that's the one I wasn't going to dare to pronounce. So tell us about that. What exactly happens at that?
Reggio Emilia is an approach to early years education, and it is mainly focused on the 100 languages of children. And as an early years educator, I suppose I'm always looking towards the quality curriculum for early years for children to make sure that we're offering the best benefits. And we're 25 years in business ourselves, and we've been awarded the All Ireland Montessori School of the Year for the third time running this year, and also we just got 4 excellence from the Department of Education and Skills. So I suppose we're always looking to see other ways of doing things. Now, Reggio Emilia focuses on the 100 languages of children, which is absolutely amazing. I was blown away by the whole concept. So basically, when you're looking at what we are providing for children in the settings and in early years in general, it's around how do we do it. In Ireland, we have a very good system. We have Astra, which is the early childhood curriculum, and we have Shielta, which are the quality standards. And I suppose we're looking at well-being, identity, belonging, exploring and thinking, communication, and also the rights of children. But the Reggio Emilia approach is, I suppose, umbrelled under the notion of the rights of all children to access quality early years. And when they're talking about the 100 languages of children, it's talking about digital language, artistic language, mathematical language, musical language. So it's a different way of looking at what we provide every day. And I suppose the way it's delivered is in what are called ateliers or mini ateliers. So for example, you could have the children building sculptures, but it's out of maybe reused or recycled materials. But there's a massive use of light and mirrors and projection in what they're doing. So it's referred to as provocations. So we're provoking thought. And instead of asking the child, what does this look like? It's what do you think of when you do this? And since I've come back, and I'm literally only back since the weekend, we have tried this out in our centres, and already we can see the enriched environment. It's absolutely amazing.
I suppose, yeah, the idea is to allow them to be more maybe expressive, to think about things more, to be maybe more artistic.
It is. It's really, I suppose, considering the different types of children, the different types of intelligences, and the different ways of expressing. So rather than the teacher coming up with a lesson plan, so today we're going to do, we might offer provocations around nature. So a lot of it is based in the natural environment and natural resources. And the children and the teachers work as co-constructors of what's going to happen. So I lay the resources out in a particular way, but it's up to the children how they're going to use them. And for example, yesterday we had a lot of natural materials. We had leaves, we had driftwood, we had magnifying glasses, mirrors and all of this, and tough trays, and we just let the children explore, and they actually got 2.5 hours of continued work from this. But it was mathematical concepts, numeracy, literacy, because they were measuring with the red rods, measuring the frogs, all of this type of thing, but it came from such a simple base. But it's absolutely fantastic to see.
So would you be thinking you already have implemented some of these ideas, so about implementing more of these kinds of ideas into
absolutely. And the motto, Malaguzzi's motto is nothing without joy. And it's all around the children constructing their environments. And I suppose in our own settings, before I went, we had been looking at, I suppose, toning down the garish colours. We've gone to lemons and more natural colours. We've increased our outdoor provision. I suppose a lot of it comes across the sector from what we experienced during COVID. We now realise the value of the outdoors and going back to the basics of what it was like to be children ourselves. You know, it's almost an more old-fashioned approach. You know, so moving away from the shop bought more to what you can find naturally, loose parts play, and things that can be used in many, many ways, and also at the same time encompassing the likes of digital media, so the children could take photographs at their level, print them out. They tell their learning story about what they've experienced for the day. And I suppose, like Ireland, what I found in Italy is there's a massive partnership with parents and with children, as well as with the teachers. And in Ireland, we do a lot of that as well. You know, so we value the parents as partners because they know the children best. But it's around giving the children a voice. And it's really, it was an enlightening experience. There were 406 delegates from international. The 5 continents were represented. So I mean, we had people from South Africa, New Zealand, Australia, America, Malaysia, China, and I mean, it was a melting pot of people and a melting pot of ideas. And already all of the contingents are communicating with each other and sharing practice. And even on a national level, we developed a WhatsApp group, a community of practice around the country, and already we're sharing these massive ideas, you know. So I mean, Early Childhood Ireland are the partnership group with Reggio Children, and they were the ones that were the conduit for us to go, and they organised the trip. But wow, has it been an experience.
Just about the idea of, you know, being outside more. I think it's in some of the Nordic countries they do an awful lot more. They spend most of the time outside, you know, when they are at that age. And I suppose there's kind of divided opinion of, you know, well, we don't have great weather here in Ireland, but in another way, is it more of a reality that this is what life is like? You know, the weather might not be great, but you can still do stuff outside.
Well, you're speaking to the converted. In 2010, I was very fortunate. I went to Queen Maud. I went to Queen Maud in Trondheim in Norway, and I visited the forest kindergartens. And right now, in our settings, we are introducing the forest kindergarten concept, and we're developing our outdoors. And the philosophy there is there's no such thing as bad weather, only poor clothing. Because I mean, we're in Ireland, we know it's going to rain. So I suppose it's around the belief that anything you can do indoors, you can take outdoors. And our practice is indicating that, and we're developing the outdoor spaces so that we have shelters so the children are protected going outside. So it's just a different way of reimagining our outdoors and our provision, I suppose, in the outdoors. And we saw that we also saw that in Italy. They're also exploring that because a lot of their philosophy would have been based indoors, and they are actually coming to Ireland to see our outdoor provision, which is really exciting. And there are contingents of those coming from Reggio in May and in June, and they're coming to visit some fellow services around to see what they're doing. And it is around, I suppose, children's engagement, and you can offer such a variety of activities and curricula outside. And we found that, I mean, in our own planning for what we're doing, we've loose parts play, we have an outdoor atelier where they can do art, we have science and learning areas, natural planting areas, outdoor sinks and water areas. And we found that the children are there isn't enough time in the day for them to cover all of the activities. And even speaking with our own team around planning, we're reimagining what we're providing, and we actually were discussing it in a team meeting, and it looks like that from the time you come in the morning, and if you rotate through all of the areas and opportunities that are available, you won't hit the same area in the class for, you know, throughout the whole day in the 8 hours. So we have it very much zoned, and it's something that we're really working towards, and it will make a massive difference. And the Department of Education and Skills were in our settings about 3 weeks ago, and obviously they were going in our areas, and we got 4 excellence for that, you know, so we're very proud of that. but it is all around, I suppose, changing the way we think. And after COVID, it's been a massive opportunity for us to change practice, and the children certainly will benefit from this.
And is it easy to make changes? Because I know you mentioned, there's the curriculum, there are standards you have to adhere to. I would always have imagined the childcare sector as being very, I suppose, regulated, and you have to abide by, cover certain things and abide by certain standards and that.
Absolutely. I suppose, as I said, I'm 25 years in this industry, and I also was teaching for Kerry College for 5 years in this sector. So I suppose my master's is in the legislation around it. So we're very conscious. Nothing happens by accident. Everything is a deliberate action. So if you're changing practice, you have to make sure that it's up to TUSLA regulation standards. And obviously we're abiding by that and shield to quality practices. So I suppose we risk assess everything across the industries, not only our settings, but across all of the settings. You risk assess everything that you're doing. And I mean, your team have to be on board. Your parents certainly have to be on board, and the children. So what we did before we introduced the changes that we're currently introducing and implementing, we surveyed the parents, we interacted with them, we got them on board, because I mean, if we're going to be spending lots of time outside, the parents have to be willing to send in the wellies and the outdoor gear. We can provide so much, but the children have to be dressed appropriately. So we found that we got a very good buy-in. It's all about sharing the vision and trying it out and being open to it, and I suppose involving everybody. Not that you're saying, Susan's coming along saying, hey, we're doing this tomorrow. You have to get the buy-in beforehand, and that's how we're managing the change management. But equally, I suppose, we have a good working relationship with TUSLA, again with the DES, and that's very important for us, so that we're meeting the criteria we need to, but at the same time, we're hoping that we're leading the way in practice and being the catalyst of change we want to see.
So you'd obviously be hoping to see more creches in early years facilities kind of going down that road of, kind of being more expressive, going outdoors more.
Absolutely. And what we're doing to cascade the learning and to support it locally, we're going to run some workshops that'll be free of charge for practitioners and interested parents if they want to come. So that'll be open. We're planning to do that in June and also again in September. On a national platform then, Early Childhood Ireland, next month we're offering a Reggio workshop both in Dublin and in Galway. I haven't got the exact dates, but they would be on the Early Childhood Ireland website. But it's all about, I suppose, it's all about collegiality, and we're all after the same thing. In early years education, we're all after the same thing: high quality standards for children, high quality standards for our teams and our parents. Our motto in Mounthawk and Maureen's and in Oak Park is happy children, happy parents, happy team. And we're delighted to support anybody that's interested in coming to see us, or, that would like to come to any of our workshops. And as I say, they're going to be free of charge. So, it's open to anybody. And there will be a little podcast as well available if people can't come in person.
Okay, well, Susan, just if someone is interested, just to make contact with yourselves in Mounthawk,
absolutely. Contact me in Mounthawk Montessori, or you can get me on WhatsApp or the Facebook page. I'm always on social media, so that's where to find me.
Okay. Well, look, Susan, thanks so much for coming in. Really interesting to hear about these different ideas you're bringing in. Just fantastic to hear about some changes in this sector. Thanks so much for joining us in studio.
Thank you very much, Mary. I appreciate it.
No problem. Stay with us here on Talkabout.